everybody. What is going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl, Maria, and it's DJ Rhea as well. But we are in Maria in the Mix right now, tuning in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is, what day is it going on? Thursday. So, we got a throwback. I have a lot of throwbacks actually to tell this special guest that we have because we kind of share a lot of similarities and go way back in a way. So we're going to get into this. I'm so excited to introduce. Hold on. Okay, we're going to get into that, but super excited to introduce drummer, producer, CEO, boss man, and motivational speaker, my amazing guest today who has all the time in the world for me, because he's been busy. Obviously, what? Straight out of jail, he has so much time, like he can't squeeze me in his schedule. But Amadeus, if you didn't know. Amadeus.
Hey.
Super producer Amadeus is in the building with us today. Let's go.
What up, Queen? That was an amazing introduction. Nobody ever had the Amadeus in the background. That's pretty hard.
You had to throw that in for Maria.
That's pretty dope, Queen. What up, though?
Not much. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for lending me your time today. Like I said, I know you're busy bailing Trey Songz out of jail, your best friend over there. So thank you for squeezing us in, Maria in the Mix.
Absolutely.
Welcome to my show. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
You are my second guest so far this new year. So I'm so blessed to have you here.
And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy 2021. A year that I feel is going to be a year filled with blessings and new opportunities and open doors and love and happiness and peace. Like we got to claim it like right now. Like we got to speak it into existence and claim it right now. So we're touching, agreeing in the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? That all will be well this year. I didn't say perfect. Yes, there it goes. I didn't say perfect. I didn't say
me this way. Go this way. We got each other.
Wait, this way.
The other way. Yep. Get closer. Get closer. Get closer.
That's awesome. Know what I mean? But Happy New Year to you and everybody that's tuned in, man.
You too. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start with you because this can go on forever. But like I said, it is Thursday, Throwback Thursday. Yeah. We have a lot of similarities in common in a weird, funny way. Like nice. I'm not a producer, but I'm in the music world as well, just like you. I don't have as many credits as you have. You worked with people like J-Lo, Diddy, Justin Timberlake. Justin Bieber. I'm sorry, Justin Timberlake. Let's speak that into existence. Right? Justin Bieber, Fabulous, and Trey Songz, just to name a few. Yes. Just going down the list of people that you've worked with. So, I know that we have a commonality. I as well worked with Trey. So I got DJ for him, which was amazing.
That was
and I was going to pull it up, but I can't find it in my archives right now. But you are in this video of me DJing at the W Hotel. We did a dope project for Trey Songz for that liquor he had going on, you know what I'm saying? And in the video, I'm thinking this is AG, So it's not AG, it's you in the background. I'm like, why you kind of look like AG? And this whole time I'm like, I've met Amadeus so many times. I know him. Like, this is crazy. And then we've definitely met on other platforms as well.
Yes.
For example, we've also worked for ESPN. Wow. I have been a correspondent for them. And you have actually worked with them in some shape or form. Maybe anybody recognize this? Like this jam right here?
They ain't talking to us. This thing's easy like a layup.
Turn up a little bit. Here we go.
Hey. Hold on. What?
Need a frame for Amadeus. Amadeus.
Okay. I can't give all the people all this. You know what I'm saying?
Now listen, that right there might be my biggest moment, in production, in my career. That ESPN First Take theme song it was a big look, you know what I mean? And it's still rocking today, you know what I mean? 4 years later, 5 years now that we're in 2021. So yeah, man, shout out to ESPN, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. At that time when I created it, it was Carrie Champion on the show and Skip Bayless. Shout out to
I love that.
And now, Molly Kiram is on right now, and Max Kellerman is on right now, and then my big bro, my uncle, the OG Stephen A. Smith is still there. So it's a blessing, man. Definitely a blessing.
So awesome! Oh my goodness! Like that was the first take song, right?
Yes. Featuring Wale and Stolly. I have a pretty cool story about it if you want me to share with you in the audience. Is that okay?
Please, we have time. Let's go. I got my drink. I'm ready. Talk to the people, honey.
Nice. So prior to me producing the theme song, I would do a lot of the scoring for ESPN. So like for Sports Center, when they play highlights, Monday Night Football, in different areas in ESPN. And I had got a phone call from the music director, shout out to Kevin Wilson, who called me and wanted me to speak at a college in Connecticut, because Connecticut is where ESPN is based at. And he's like, hey, I want to put you on the music panel. Come speak out here, And the first thing I asked him, I was like, yo, is there a budget? Because, schools have a lot of money, you know what I mean? And I knew that. So I was like, yo, what's the budget? And he's like, no budget. This would be a favor to me. And I'm like, let me let you know. So got off the phone with him. And as soon as I got off the phone with him, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And it was like, what do you mean? I'm talking to myself. Like, what are you doing? Like, this dude has opened up so many doors for you at ESPN, has put so many checks into your pocket, thankfully, so many dope opportunities. How dare you not show him love and hold him down in this moment where he's requesting you to be on this panel? You know what I mean? And that was like a powwow that I had with myself. So I called him right back. I was like, yo, whenever it is, whatever time it is, I'm going to be there. And he's like, all right, cool. Right. So I go show up. Now it was pretty far from where I was at, about 2.5 hours per way driving, but I went, spoke on the panel. Panel was amazing. After the panel, he's like, hey man, let's go have lunch. I went, treat you guys to lunch. Nothing fancy. There's a Subway's up the street. And I'm like, bet, I love Subway. Let's go. Go to Subway's. We're in Subway's. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to, create this theme song for First Take. And I'm trying to reach Talib Kweli, but I can't reach him. And I'm like, that's the homie. Like, I had produced for Kweli already. My son's mother had toured with Kweli for like 10 years. So he's family, right? So I was like, yo, I'll connect the dots, put you guys in contact. But I was like, who's doing the track? And he was like, yo, we haven't figured that out yet. I was like, here's the deal. I'll put y'all with Talib Kweli. You let me produce the track. And he's like, bet, right? So as we can see, it's not Talib Kweli on the track. So originally it was supposed to be Talib Kweli and Mos Def on the theme song.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah. So there were some creative differences with Mos Def. Kweli was kind of, okay, that's the beat. All right, cool. Mos Def was like, I don't know about this beat. Let's pick another one, and kind of giving ESPN the runaround. And they had a deadline, and it was like, listen, we ain't got time for this, right? They call up Wale. Wale is a family member of the show, family friend of the show. Wale's like, bet, I'll do it. Love the beat. Let me bring in Stolly, who was new to MMG. So let's, let it be a look for me, Wale, and then, my label mate, Stolly. They come in, we create the theme song. They book a studio. We all go in together, create the theme song, document it, film it. Boom, it's a theme song, right? So I bring up that story because oftentimes, and I mean this in a good way, sometimes we're motivated by the bag. Sometimes we're motivated by the checks, right? But don't look at the bigger picture. So I didn't know that this would come about from that, but it was just about giving and giving back and being a blessing to the man that opened up different doors for me at ESPN to allow my music to be played there. So I'm glad that I checked myself in that moment and went out there and spoke at that panel, which led to the conversation of who's going to produce a theme song. And it happened to be me. So I love telling that story because I love sharing that and teaching people in that moment. Yo, it's not always about the bag. It's not always about you getting something. Sometimes it's about you showing love and giving, and you never know how God will turn that around and it'll come around full circle. So that's the backstory behind the First Take theme song. Like I said, which is one of the biggest moments in life for me as a creative person and as a producer.
So epic. Oh my gosh. Like that. Thank you so much for that story. That is priceless. Everybody out there, these are gems he just dropped. But you really touched me with the last thing that you had just said. And it's about, the blessings of just giving yourself up which is what we're here to do, is to serve. You know what I'm saying? So to give yourself up and not expect anything in return, because that's the goodness in you. That's who you are. That's where it comes from. That's what you are putting out there in the world and manifesting. And look how God blesses you and circles everything back when you are giving up and relying on just the faith.
Yeah. Now let me add on. Let me add on to this. Let me tell you why I did that, because it's a thin line when it comes to deciding to give or be a blessing and not, charge for your services. The reason why I did that for him was based off of our relationship that we've already built and what we've done in the past. So it wasn't like I'm looking out for this dude nonstop and there's nothing in return. Like, we've worked already. We've built, a working and business relationship where I'm giving and he's getting, and we're both receiving at the same time. So, because you gotta be clear and careful with that, because there are some people that'll take from you. You know what I mean? And do have the finances. People do have the finances, do have the budget to really pay you for what you deserve or what you ask for. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful, and you got to, allow that spirit of discernment to set in to say, okay, do I give of myself to this person, to this company in this moment? Or do I go ahead and be a businessman or be a businesswoman and charge what I charge? You know what I'm saying? Because
100%.
We're getting what you charge for your work. So so I just wanted to kind of throw that in there too, so that people that are viewing this don't get it confused. This is after we've done an exchange on a business level that I was able to say, you know what, I'll come out there and speak for free, because we've already been a blessing to one another over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And that type of situation, you be a blessing and you give. You know what I mean? Yeah. So spirit of discernment, because, people will use and abuse you, for real. And we don't want that to happen.
Oh, no. Trust me, being in this industry, it's a dog eat dog world, and you know how it is. You have to be able to grind. You have to be able to last out here. I always say life is a marathon. It's not a race. Where are you going? You know what I'm saying? So there's levels to this. There's levels, there's steps. You were just speaking about speaking, and being on that panel got you to these blessings that you now have. I honestly believe, Amadeus, you have a gift. God has blessed you with an amazing gift to be able to touch people. And because of your speaking gift, I know that you do college tours. You're a motivational speaker. You have the College 101 tour that you have. And I know that you travel all around the country, motivating our youth, okay? The newest generations, the generations to come and plant these seeds and spread this knowledge. So let's talk about this amazing project that you started, I believe, in 2015, if I'm correct, right?
Correct. Yep.
So let's talk about College 101 tour that you have, motivationally speaking, and just dropping these gems and blessings on our youth.
Yes. So prior to the college tour, what I would do was, of course, in my own city, I'm from the Bronx, would show up to various schools if I could, you know what I mean? And speak to the kids, just encourage them and motivating them to find out what are their dreams. And once finding out what their dreams are, to push them to chase their dreams and to live their dreams. I feel like, when we go to bed and we go to sleep young right now, no matter how old you are, what your age is, you have dreams. And I feel like those are visions that God gives us, that we are not only supposed to see when we're asleep, but when we awaken and we're alive and we're living our life each and every single day, that we're actually putting those dreams into our realities. And that's what I feel we all should be doing. Waking up every single day, doing what we love, not doing what our parents want us to do, not doing what we feel we have to do or what we need to do, but what we love. And then everything else kind of comes together. You know what I mean? So I would be on tour with Trey. And I don't care what city we would be in, I would be like, yo, where's the nearest school? You know what I'm saying? And I would try to go up to whatever school that is, gather as many students as they possibly can, and just have a little sit down, and just have a little powwow with them, just of encouragement and just sharing my story and what I've what I've dealt with and what I've faced and overcome. You know what I mean? So that's how it started. And my high school friend, shout out to Mike Daniel, he kind of saw what I was doing online and was like, listen, I'm in the education field, DOE, I'm pretty strong in this area. I see what you're doing. Yeah. Let's kind of take what you're doing and structure it and really put a name and a brand behind what you're doing and start visiting colleges and really allow it to be on a professional level. And that's kind of how it came about. And the reason was growing up, I had to figure this out like on my own. I didn't have, you know, the do's and the don'ts and someone saying, hey, do this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had to figure it out along the way. So once I've arrived to this level and this level of success, I kind of thought about the future and the people that will come behind me and will stand in these same footsteps and even beyond. And I'm like, why allow them to go through the same things? Why not me educate them and teach them the do's and the don'ts, teach them of all of the other areas in the music industry besides being in the forefront. Everybody don't want to be on the stage. Everybody's not an artist, singer, songwriter,
Right.
producer. You might be a dope manager. You might have a dope ear and you can be an engineer. You might have amazing style and want to be a stylist. You might be able to do hair, cut hair. So you can be a style, you know, a barber or a hairstyle. So many different areas. And when we go into these rooms and we talk about it, like to see the phases of like, wow, I didn't know I can do that in the music business. And it's like, yeah, you know, when you see a Chris Brown, you see a Trey Songz, you see a Keisha Cole, a Ashanti, it's a whole team that's behind them that help push them where they are. They're not just made up of one person and it's a whole team that do different things that help push them as a brand and as a product. And it's been great. Like you said, we've been doing it for a few years, had to shut down because of the pandemic, obviously. But imagine a young kid like myself from the Bronx. You know, I finished off at high school, and that's the decision that I made for me because I really wanted to pursue music 100% and go full speed ahead. No B, C, D, E, F, G plan, just A and just 100 miles an hour forward to that plan A because that's the only plan I had. It was my dreams, you know.
Right.
So for me to be in a Yale or Howard or Hampton and Harvard, NYU, a dude with no degree, no paperwork, but standing in those same positions that the professor stands in to teach a class.
Yeah.
And I'm educating people on music, not based off of schooling and education or documentation, but more so of life and experience. And what my 20 plus years have taught me, and then I'm sharing that with others. Because one thing I know is, and there's no knock, this is from a positive lens to any professor, any educator, any teacher that's went through years of schooling and got their degrees. All of that's amazing, and salute to you. But there's something called the experience.
Yes.
That no one can teach you. You know what I mean? No one can teach you experience, and that's what I come with, and it's been a blessing. So thank you for bringing that up. Can't wait till the pandemic. I wouldn't say it's over, but at least where we got a grip on what's going on, and we can kind of get back to some sense of normalcy where I could get back to those schools and do what I do. And I would love to have you on as a panelist.
Oh, I would love to.
You know what I mean? Because that's what it is.
I would love to.
It's actual panel. It started with just me, and I would take an hour or two and just speak with myself. But I was like, nah, I want to bring in other people that are awesome at what they do and let them speak on what it is that they do. So you represent the DJs, you representing beauty and elegance and bossness in your own right would be a super dope addition. So once we're back to normal, got to have you on that thing. You know what I mean?
Please. I would be honored and blessed. That's one of the biggest things to me. I grew up New York City, LES baby, Lower East Side. So I'm from here, born and raised. I'm an inner city kid. I know what it means so much to just give back to our communities. And we are in such literally fingertip reach of schools and places that we could walk to this and walk to that. I've been a part of those systems. I've went to schools and taught gym, basketball, all different sports. I went, I work with Nike, other people in general, went to schools, motivational speaker as well, speaking to young women, especially young girls that definitely need that mentorship, especially in the crazy thotty world we got going on today. I personally want to be a representation of that so that they can look up to me or look up to women like me that, are successful doing other things and not just one thing. One of the biggest things I always tell the kids that I work with, when I ask them about careers and things in life, don't give me one answer. I want 2, 3, 4, because what if that doesn't work out? Think about it. My basketball career didn't work out. I had a chance to play overseas, all this other stuff I did. I made it to the WNBA, failed my physical, all this other stuff. And I was like, what am I going to do?
Wow.
I was fortunate because of my background in school. I had a sports business background, worked for the Knicks, the New York Rangers, this and that. I never would have fathomed that. But, it all started with all of that and then changing careers. So I always try to influence the young kids in their lives, especially athletes and stuff.
when your career and things don't work out, what are you going to do? What are you going to fall back on? You have so much going for you, especially women. You know, we have to finish all 4 years of school and things like that, college, to get anywhere. So take advantage of that, get your education. It's free half the time for a lot of these people, athletes specifically. But if you don't have those opportunities, like get your education in whatever you're doing and be able to excel in the world, because like I said, it's a marathon, not a race. So you got to be able to level up at all different things. And all of the things that I do, same with you, kind of all circle one another. You being a drummer, starting off as a drummer, now a boss, CEO, working with artists, circling with artists, you know, artists you might have never met before. Now you're crossing paths, all because of those relationships and those levels that you took. And one of the biggest things you said, which I really, the gems you're dropping, was the trials and error of this, especially being in this industry and being a creative and an entrepreneur. You have to be able to fail. Like, you have to be able to, you know, try this, try that. And if it doesn't work, or if this relationship doesn't work, you know, no bad blood, you know, take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving, you know, because if not, you're going to become stagnant. It's going to overpower you. And this world is, like I said, a dog eat world. Everybody's just going at each other's throat. And it's kind of like Hunger Games, like the strongest survive. So that gem you dropped is huge. Is there anything that you might have taken back, or anything you wish you ever redid in life? Speaking of the trials and errors that you have encountered?
You know, I honestly don't have any regrets. And even before I answer that question, I just want to take a moment to celebrate you, and, you know, me hearing that story of your basketball dreams and, you know, it not working out. I'm sure you would have smoked in the WNBA. You know what I mean?
I was the first Skylar Diggins. I was the first.
I believe
all of that. That's like, because they only had like, well, obviously there's my icons, Sue Bird, Tina Thompson, like all of those, Cynthia Cooper, etc. You know, the girly girls of certain stuff. But like, there was nobody that was like, besides Lisa Leslie, there was nobody after that age gap that was going to do TV, film, Maybelline commercials, you know, cover girl. That's what I wanted.
And that's definitely you. But, you know, you didn't give up, you know, even though that didn't work out. You know, we still have DJ Rhea, you know, and music is, you know, sports is amazing. And, you know, I love sports. It's a great sense of entertainment. It's great, right? But it's something special about music. You know what I mean? Music is healing. Music can cure. It's so many different roles that music plays, and music is all around the world, and it's accepted by everyone. I mean, I'm sure there's different genres, and people like what they like, but imagine the world with no music. Like, I couldn't even fathom that. Like, you couldn't even do it. So I'm grateful, you know, and we're grateful to have you in the music world with us. You are definitely a gem and a diamond in what you do in music, representing for the women of the industry, but being a real lady, being a real queen, you know, a real woman of integrity. And I'm speaking from experience of, you know, working alongside you that night at the W Hotel with Trey Songz. Like, you were a beautiful person inside out. But you were about your business. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm DJ Rhea. I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not starstruck. Like, it's a level of respect. Cool for everybody. Cool, you're Trey. Cool, all right, but you're not starstruck. You knew what you possessed. You brought it that night. You took instruction extremely well with me. Like, play this, go there, boom, 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 go there. And you just deliver it, man. And that's what it takes, you know? So
I appreciate you.
Any young lady that's out there, whether you're younger, whether you're maybe possibly DJ Rhea's same age or even older, like, this woman is an example of what not giving up looks like, that you can be beautiful and can be ladylike and break somebody's ankles on that court and come off that court and be like, you know what I'm saying? And spin it and do what it does. Because she's dressed down right now. But listen, I've seen it turned up now. Don't get it twisted.
This is like, this is just my lounge housewear.
Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying. But no, salute to you, Queen. And you are inspiration for every little girl, every female. And it's not just about young girls either, because I saw a video, and I'm going off in a tangent, but you know, when the Lord speaks, you just gotta let him.
I love this. Please, honey.
I saw a video. My sister sent me a video 2 nights ago that changed my life. In what's today? Today is the 28th. In 2 days. Yes. In 2 days, God willing, I will be 40 years old.
Yes, happy birthday.
So thank you. It's a milestone.
Oh, I know I like you. Aquarius, baby.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie though.
That's why we besties. I'm an Aries, honey, so we are very
Got you. Yes. So I ain't gonna lie though, Queen. Like, I was a little nervous. There's some dreams that I haven't accomplished yet, and then you start asking yourself, is it too late? And it's like, man, I'm 40. I wanted to be here by 40. I wanted to be doing this by 40. I wanted to be set up to this level. So I was having all of those different thoughts secretly. I wasn't really sharing it, especially with my sister. So she sends me a video, and it's a Black queen. I don't know who she is. And she's basically talking about how her dreams as a little girl came true for her at the age of 44. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she's like breaking it down. And when I say this video, bless me, Queen, I'm like, it just really hit home, because you hit certain ages and you're like, damn, is it over? You know what I mean? Like, is it, I think about something else. Should I do something else? And she also shared about how her father always dreamt of opening a barbershop and running a barbershop. Yeah. And he didn't obtain that dream until he was 65. You know what I mean? Wow. So, yo, I'm gonna tag you on this video.
Please, video. I was gonna ask you as soon as you finish.
I'm gonna tag you on this video. I'm gonna do it in a moment.
I need inspiration all day, always. Please, yes, good vibes. Tag me. He's doing it right now. Even better. Yeah, even better.
I'm getting forgetting stuff.
No, trust me. Like, think about it. Issa Rae's career didn't begin till later. Issa Rae didn't start her Insecure and all that till she was like later in her 30s, right? Think about the Dos Equis guy. That was his first commercial. By the way, he's not even Spanish. He's a Jewish guy, like from Long Island, I think. And he was 65 when he got, like, just like you said, he was in his 60s. I think 65 that he got his first major role and breakthrough, and he's been acting his whole life. And he got one of the biggest campaigns. So, like, never stop pushing, always, never stop grinding. Like, I'm a hustler. Like, we from New York. I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, So, like, I know the grind. I know what it takes. I'm not sure if being an athlete definitely, to me, I feel attributed to that, because I don't give up. Like, we lost maybe 2 high school games my whole career. Like, I don't know what losing is. But when we talked about that, switching into this world and being an entrepreneur and all of that, I've never really experienced failure like that. So for me, for my first time to experience something that was like shocking, and it was like, oh my God, it shook my world. It was like, hold on, time out, pause, freeze, let's re-angle this. Okay, how are we going to fix this and get through this and get around this? Like, just a little few rocks in the road, it's a little mountain. It might be Mount Fiji, but I'm gonna climb over that and I'm gonna get through it, and we're gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I know you have that same determination and grind.
You got to. I know I kind of went off in a little tangent, so I'm gonna come back to your question in regards to, like, overcoming failure and staying committed. And I personally don't have any regrets. I feel like our lives are destined, and it's written. You know what I mean? And some bumps and some bruises and some potholes that you hit. It's never fun to hit those, you know. But I feel like that's a part of what you need in order to build your character and really build who you are, so that when you are blessed to obtain whatever it is you're going after, you know what it took to get to that point, and you have so much more of an appreciation for it, because you know what it's like to lose. You know what it's like for people to not believe, for people to doubt you, for people to say, "Nah, you can't be the biggest producer in the world. You can't be a touring drummer and tour around the world." Like, that was what said to me when I was younger. It didn't hurt my feelings. Like, it didn't bother me. Like, I heard it, and believe it or not, it really, and as a young kid, it really, like, hyped me up. It really was like, oh, word, you think that? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, heard you. And when it all came together, I didn't even have that. And that's how God works, man. I didn't even have that spirit of, like, I told you, or like, now what? It was just like, because some of those same people will come up to me and say, wow, you really did it. You know what I mean? And it would be my response would be, yeah. And I believed in myself. I know what God told me. God didn't tell you for me. Like, He spoke to me. Like, I was the one who dreamt those dreams. You didn't dream those dreams. So that's why you can't relate. That's why you can't see what I see or envision what I envision. So, I'm grateful for my life. I think, if anything, like, 2020 really, showed me and taught me a lot.
Everybody, honey.
You know
Everybody.
what I mean? Like it really,
the world.
yeah, it put a lot into perspective, right? Because I have a residency at Dre's and in Vegas, so I flew there every weekend to perform and
My
perform with Dre. You know, just moving, right? Doing the college tour. You're so used to living life and doing what you normally do, and then you really, and I'll speak for me, you start taking advantage of that. You start not being as appreciative towards it because it's what you do on a normal basis. But yo, when this pandemic hit and the world was like, nah, sit your ass down, bro. You know what I'm saying? And no, you're not going to Vegas every weekend, and no, you're not doing no shows, and no, you're not doing any college tours, and no events, and no networking events, and no studio. It was just like, have a seat. Now, how do you like that? Because I remember when, you know, you would be tired and you got, damn, I got to go to Vegas again. Whew, I
got to go to work.
Yo, I tell you, I bet you $100. I never say that again.
Never. Never.
And I mean that. I'm not just saying it just to say it because it sounds good. Yo, when we open back up and we're able to do what we love to do and get back to doing what we're doing, I won't complain again. Tired or not, I'm gonna be like, man, like, man, yo, for real. So I haven't touched the drums in a year. And thankfully, you know, we're working on something. We're working on something virtual with Trey. I'll leave it at that. And it'll be my first time seeing the drum set, touching the drums, seeing my brothers, my band members, seeing Trey, I would say in over a year. I was talking to my son about it because I don't know if it's because of my sign or just my makeup. Like I'm very in tune to like my feelings and like I'm very emotional. Like I'm a big crier, like, and I'm not ashamed. Like it's who I am. It's what I am. Right. And I was telling my son, I was like, yo, bro, I hope I don't like burst into like tears when I see the drums and like sit down. Because you know, and I'm cool with it. Like I'm cool with it. I might even document it and share it, man, because it just shows you what love and passion is like and what it is. People say they love what they do. It's like, nah, B, do you shed tears because you haven't been able to do it for a year? And that's kind of like where I'm at with it, man. So whenever I leave Sunday. So I'm gonna be on the plane for the first time in the year. Like,
ooh, where you going?
Going to LA.
Ooh, to do what?
So we're working on something. We're working on a virtual show. I'll leave it at that. So you know, I ain't gonna lie. I was definitely shitting bricks. Like, I had to have many conversations, you know, with my family, and I know a few flight attendants from flying all my life that you know reached out to me and was encouraging and gave me some advice and kind of calmed my nerves in regards to how Delta's been moving and you know the rules and everything. So, you know, thank God I haven't had the virus. I'm a lot. Like I'm the guy that if I touched this wall, I'm like, oh no, I'm on a million. So they was like, just do what you've been doing, and. You know,
vitamin C, vitamin D, elderberry.
Keep doing what you've been doing.
Ginger, your honey, your lemon, all that. Yes.
Do what you do. Because what I can't and what I almost allowed to happen is a very transparent moment. What I almost allowed to happen is allowing fear to overtake me. You know what I mean? Like,
don't let him tempt you. Oh my God.
Fear of
don't
like,
no, what if tempt you?
All the what ifs of like, what if I was like, bro, you better go back and beat the hell out of them drums. Two, you know, go get that bag that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those different things you need. And it was like, what if this is what it is for the next 5 years? And I'm not speaking anything into this. I'm just being real.
No.
What if this is what it is? So you're not going to perform ever again. So you're not going to play. You're not going to travel. You're just going to sit in your four walls at home and hide from this thing? Or are you going to do what you've been doing, protect yourself, do the best that you can do, remain prayerful, and go do what you do. And that was kind of what the decision process was like for me. So I leave, you know, a day after my birthday.
Look at these blessings, God. God literally. Is he saying, oh, birthday, here's a present, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the bag, honey.
Yo. And I'm staying positive. I'm positive. I'm not afraid. I don't I'm not losing any sleep over it. I'm not worried. I'm just going to do what I've been doing, like you said, protecting myself, make sure I'm putting what I need to put in my body, keeping that mask on, and do what I do, and come back home, and everything be all right. You know what I mean?
You are blessed and one of the chosen ones, because God has given you all of these amazing talents and gifts in your life, literally gifts that you've turned into amazing talents.
Right.
And it's so awesome. And you should receive all of those. Just keep vibrating high, keep that frequency high, keep manifesting all of those amazing things. Because just like you said, quarantine has been the biggest blessing for me. And I know there has been unfortunate times and situations for family and people, and my heart goes out to them as well, and I'm praying for them and giving them love and strength. And I think I even might have had this COVID in January, February last year, like a whole year ago, and didn't even know, because they didn't come out with the symptoms till after March, around my birthday. And I'm like, oh, I think I might have had this, because I missed DJing at Super Bowl. I missed the littest Super Bowl ever in life in Miami because of this. So all of this, though, literally was a blessing, made me sit down. I had the same similar lifestyle as you. I'm always here. I have 3 or 4 jobs. I'm doing something else. Every day is different for me. I never complain. I love getting up. But even if I was like, oh, I got to do this, I might cram my day, I still get it done. But I was just moving, just like you said. And wasn't that I was unappreciative, but I was just moving, not thinking, just doing like a robot. And finally, when I got to sit down and be in tune with myself and just in my peace. And it's funny, I'm an extrovert, but I'm such an introvert. I love to be home. I love to be in my little pod over here. I love to just relax, just like your phone energy. Once you use all that power up, right? The phone dies. You're just like you're an energy source. So you go out there, you're giving, you're using. You kind of get depleted at times, and your energy, you have, I work out all the time. I do all these other things as well to maintain my health, etc. But you literally just get drained. So you need to recharge. You need to get time to yourself, because I feel like people like us in this life that can be able to give and receive, but know how to use it and how to maneuver for the good of it in this world. You know what I'm saying? You have to protect your energy, and you have to just sit down sometimes, be with yourself. And a lot of people in our generation, in our world, well, the younger generation, I should say, and in this world that are coming up are so external. All about this. I need this to, and it's like, honey, you will never get anywhere in life unless you tap into here, unless you tap into here, unless you deal with all of this in here. Because just like in a relationship or anything, you can't be able to give yourself to somebody if you're not good here. You know what I'm saying? So even if I'm in a bad mood or something, I'm not going to go out. I tell my friends that, don't come out and ruin the vibe for people and the energy. It's contagious. Don't do that. So I'm stay at home, get your little glass of wine, do whatever you got to do, take a bath, relax, woosah, listen to some music, something. Get yourself together, and then come out on a better day, So that's what you got to protect your energy, and you got to protect other people's energy, because there is good and evil. There is God and the devil, I believe in. So I know that there are those temptations, and there is that out there, but you got to be able to be stronger than anything and fight every day and be able to go and be ready. Because who knows? This world isn't just like Kobe always said, there's no tomorrow. You never know the time that you have on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's insane. You really have to take advantage of that.
Yes.
And this pandemic, like you had said, has taught me and you and others, I believe, so much.
Amen. 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 I'm glad you shared. Thanks for sharing.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It was ridiculous. Listen, you even just touched a point. I still can't believe you haven't touched the drums. I don't know if these people know, because we have so much to talk about, and I'm so elated just talking to you about everything that you got going on. But we need to even scroll back to how you even got into this. So shout out to the BX, the Boogie Down Bronx, Claremont section, where you reign from, honey. I know that your parents literally had a different vision for you in your life of how I believe you became a drummer. I need you to tell me this story. But I know that Claremont, Boogie Down Bronx, it's rough. It's a rough neighborhood and area. And you could have easily got caught up in the streets, but you chose a different path. So we need to talk about how you became who you are today.
Yes. Yeah, man. You nailed it, man. You laid everything out perfectly.
I cut all that off so you could get right to the point for us.
Nah, you killed it. You killed it. So my parents sacrificed, sent me and my siblings to Catholic school, which I hated. Growing up in the Bronx.
Which school?
So I went to the first school was St. Augustine School of the Arts.
Yes. Okay.
I went from there to Christ the King. And
wow.
in Concourse.
Okay.
And then in high school was Cardinal Hayes High School.
Ooh, okay.
That was the journey. So
I went to St. Michael, so I know. I know. Yes, I went to St. Michael, so I know all about y'all.
Actually, a rival to us, by the way, in football.
Yes, I know.
Yes. So 4th grade was where it all started for me. In the school that I attended, we were able to learn a musical instrument. I wanted to learn the trumpet or the saxophone.
Nice.
Was absent on the day that we were able to choose the instrument. So when I returned the following day, those slots were taken for those instruments. There were 2 slots left for either violin or percussion. And, like I said, I'm from the Bronx. I'm from the hood. I already had to dress up to go to Catholic school in the slacks, shirt and tie and shoes. So I was already a target. What I wasn't going to do was add a violin case to it. And me walking through the hood of violin case. So I didn't know what percussion meant, but I was like, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that one. Whatever that is, we're going to do that.
I love it. I love it.
Walked into the class and learned in that moment that I had to do everything to do with rhythm. So drums, xylophones, congos, bongos, cowbell, the woodblock. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because I never had any desires or aspirations to be a musician, period.
Right.
But, I learned an instrument. It's pretty cool. The teacher sits down and he's like, hey, I'm going to play this drum pattern. I'm going to go around the room to see if there's anyone else that can play the drum patterns, right? Plays the pattern, goes around the room. I sit on the drums. I play the pattern. Comes back around the room, plays a different pattern. I sit down. I play the pattern. And everybody in the room is like, what's going on here? And even I'm like, what's going on here? And he's like, have you played drums before? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well,
wow.
Guess we got something here. And that was the moment where it all happened. And I still didn't fall in love with drums as of yet. I was a kid that loved attention. So I, in that moment, fell in love with the fact that everybody in the class loved what I was doing and was infatuated about that. And was hyped.
Not with you.
I was excited about that. All the girls in the class.
I cannot.
Oh, that's so cool. And I was like, you like that? Like
you ladies, man, I cannot.
You like that? Yeah, we're gonna rock out with these drums. So later on was kind of when I developed the love and the passion for it. Went to church, which is where it all really developed for me as a musician. And that's where I got all of the seasoning and the spice and the swag, as a musician. And that's when I fell in love with it. And then the rest is history. You know what I mean?
I love it. That is one of the coolest stories. I love the fact that you had to take an instrument. I had to do the same in my school. You had to play an instrument.
Right, you had to, yeah.
Starting in 3rd grade in my school,
wow.
You had to pick. I was in the violin and I was in the orchestra. So when you said the violin, I was like, don't be hating. But no, it was kind of boring after a few years. So I picked up the flute in 6th grade and I just jammed on with that and went into the jazz band. And that's when I fell in love. I dated the drummer. So that was my first boyfriend. I was a freshman. He was a senior, honey. I was, I was dating the drummer. Okay.
The drummers are the best. You know what I'm saying? We just
listen, you guys, you really are. Cause first off, he was a white boy. And I know
really?
I'm half white, yes, but I did not see myself as a white guy in general. So my first boyfriend was white. He was the drummer. I will never forget. It was an 8-piece band. It was the shit. And I loved it because the improv was me. I going off on tangents. I was that kid that would get up and spin to the back of the room. I'm in my own little world. So I absolutely fell in love. And I grew up with jazz. My dad always played. I was super eclectic. He played so many different genres from the Gypsy Kings to Bob Marley. We went to Paul Simon concerts,
wow.
So I just love music. I love all types of music and playing an instrument, just like you said, it's amazing. I haven't continued that, but God has given you once again, Amadeus, these amazing gifts that you have turned these talents into something that have just leveled you up and open doors for you and outlets to different things in your life. The fact that you didn't even want to drum and be a drummer. You are now Trey Songz drummer. I'm sorry. And musical director. Can we please talk about that? Like, talk
Man.
about somebody that's vision or dream was not something foreseeable, but just knew that they loved the attention, just loved doing it, and it literally opens so many floodgates, like flooding gates. The fact that you are Trey Songz's musical director and head drummer, like his head drummer, and you toured all over the world, went to different countries, like. Oh my, I even saw that you worked on him with the tour with Jay-Z, like all these other amazing things that you did.
Yes.
Just because of that door, you know, that you had opened working with Trey. Let's talk about this. Like, how did that open? Like, I believe you started your company, right, in 2000?
Yeah. So we met in the studio. We met in the studio. I was producing a record for Mike Jones, and Trey was the feature on the song. And we
Something were low, right? Low.
Shoot, I didn't forgot. What's the name of Trey?
Life or something low. Low life. Low, I don't know. Something with one of those. I know what it was. Jim. Yeah, something like that.
Wait,
My job.
When you have so many records,
you know,
I know.
It's hard.
I know is the name of the song.
What is it?
I know. No, that's the name of the song. I know. She's like, I know. That was mad funny. It's like, I know. No, I know. No. I know.
Yeah, what do you know? You finally know the song that you know.
That's mad funny. Yes. Okay, the song title is I Know. Mike Jones featuring Trey Songz. So we were in it. Yeah, it's so funny. She's like, what? I know, but what? Like, what? Like, no, I know the song.
I could not.
That's an awesome moment right there.
Yeah.
So we're in Houston recording the song, and there was a drum set in the corner. And I saw the drum set and I got mad hyped, and I'm like, yo, I play drums. And I'm trying to tell them, like, yo, I play drums. And they're like, you don't play no drums. I'm like, bruh, okay, if you liking my beats and my tracks, like, you'll love, like, that's how it started for me. Like, I'm a drummer from a church boy, like, straight up. Yo, and they clown me, man. Both Trey and Mike Jones clown me. You know, I was like, all right, cool. And in that same breath, I said these exact words to Trey. I was like, this is Trey, first album out. Trey with the braids, skinny Trey, first, like, brand new Trey. So I'm like, bruh, with the music you making, it's very soulful, like real R&B. One day you're gonna need a live band, and when you do, call me. Said that, told that to Trey. We went back, recorded the record. I went home, he went home. Mike was already in Houston. That's where he lived at. Boom. A year later, I got a phone call, and you probably know Delonte. You know Delonte Murphy?
I think so. We've crossed paths through a friend because my best friend's in Houston, so she's in Texas. But yes. So
Delonte is managing him, and he calls me, and he's like, "Yo, Delonte, this is Trey manager. You ready to put the band together for Trey?" And I'm like, because I play drums, right? But I never put a band together. So I didn't know what that entailed. I didn't know. He's like, yeah, he wants you to put the band together, wants you to be the music director, and play drums for the band. Like, take it away. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Like, and he's like, bruh, I don't know what you're going to do, but we got a show coming up in like 3 weeks. And we need a band. And Trey said to call you, and he wants you to do it. And I don't know, figure it out, call me back. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know about putting the band together. All I know how to do is play drums. So what I did was I called my big brother. His name is Butters. And he was at that time the music director for Case and Casey and JoJo. So I'm like, this is what he does. I'm going to call him. He's going to be the music director. I'm going to play drums. I'm going to put him in charge, and we out. I call him. He's like, you're going to be the music director. That's what you told Trey he was going to be. You're going to be music director. I'm going to come on tour with you. I'll play keyboards. I'll be a keyboard player. You'll be on drums. We'll put, the rest of the band together. Boom. And anything you need to learn, anything you need to know behind the scenes, I'm going to make sure you know everything you need to know behind the scenes. And he was like, how do you think I got into this position? Like Casey and JoJo. He's always also the music director for Leela James. He was like, somebody give me a chance. You know what I mean? Yes. And he's giving you a chance. He's giving you a moment. And this is how you're going to learn. And that was 14 years ago.
Wow.
So it was a moment for Trey. Trey never had a band together, had a band before. I never put one together. So it was a moment for us to grow as musicians and for us to figure it out along the way. So it was a lot of bumps, a lot of learning experiences, a lot of things going wrong, a lot of things explode in our faces in regards to music and shows and on stage and this happening and that happening. But
the best moments ever.
Yes, that's what it needed to happen in order for us to get to where we are today. So like I said, that was a moment of me speaking into existence, something that didn't exist, something I didn't even know how to do, something that I wasn't even ready for. And it was a moment where he's like, you're gonna learn today. You're gonna get ready today.
Learn today.
You're gonna learn today, bro. Yeah, man. So crazy.
I love it. Oh my God. The blessings once again. The power of manifestation, honey. Like, if you are not a true testimony to this, and I don't even know who better for this, but because of your vibes, your faith, your love, everything that you have going for you had led and opened these doors. Like, that is so crazy, dude. Oh my God. Even to relate to you, like, we have a lot of commonality. I think we're just gonna be BFFs after this. But I literally worked for the NHL. I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know anything about anything. Okay. I worked for the New York Knicks. And I remember 3 years in, one of my friends was leaving the position over on the Ranger side, on the New York Rangers, and came to me and was like, hey, listen, there's a spot open. I'm going to put you up for this position. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, I don't know anything about hockey. So I told people, I was like, what am I going to say in this interview when I talk to the VP of event presentation? This man runs event presentation for all of the arena, for all three teams, Knicks, Rangers, Liberty. I'm like, okay, what am I going to say to him? So honesty is key. My parents always taught me, be honest. I literally went there and told him I was honest. I said, hey, I don't know why you have me here for this position to be the floor director and run the arena for the New York Rangers.
Wow.
I don't know anything about hockey, so I don't know why I'm here. And he said, what? He's like, listen, we hire you, and why we're hiring you is because it's your personality. All it has to do is with you and your personality, and the rest will come. The ice guys will teach you or something how to, to what the red zone is and all this, ice crew and all this. And I managed 2 staffs. I ran the arena. I'm up and down the floor in heels, running up to the 300s and putting on performances. And it was insane. And I got to work with talent. And that was one of the things that I loved, because I did the anthem singers, the color guard. I got to introduce them. We did all of the things in presentation and you had to be on time. You had to be on the doors. There was a script.
Yeah.
I had no clue what to do. I had no clue what was going on. Yes, I'm in acting and all this, but that didn't come later into my life, like modeling and all of that, till after I left the garden. So I'm in these positions. You want me to read 20-something pages worth of script, and I have to time this. I have 10 seconds. If not, we get fined $10,000 from the NHL. Like, if I'm not, we have all these people off the ice after this presentation, like all these things. And I'm just like, huh? But because my boss believed in me and gave me that chance and that opportunity, was a blessing. And I'm so happy that that blessing occurred for you in so many ways, because of your friend, and literally put you in a position to now be the musical director of Trey Songz, head drummer, lead drummer, all these amazing things, not knowing that you would have ever been in this position because of that good faith of that person believing in you and putting that battery in your back and like, you got this. You know what I'm saying? And all you need is that little hope from somebody and that little push and that little, you know what I'm saying, to help you believe in yourself, for those good affirmations. And I think that's so awesome and such a blessing, because I know that's exactly what you do when you motivatedly speak, because you motivated me, and I'm off a high right now, like, ooh, this what he got going on and what he's doing.
You share. I didn't know that.
My stories reflect this. Yeah. So like,
I didn't know that about you. So to learn that about you, crazy.
Yes, like I really feel like because of you and just, looking up to you being in this game, I feel the same way, just like to people like you, honestly, for the platform that you had, for the things that you've achieved, from the foundation that you started up into where you are building and keep going and where you're going. So it really means so much to me as well. And I know other people that are listening out there, everybody, your fans, your family, your friends, that you are this motivation and you are this aspiration that we can all live up to, because you are a true testament to it.
Man,
so like, that is so awesome.
Man.
Yes, honey. Yes. I love it. We have to scroll back one more thing before we get out of here.
Okay.
All of these things, because we're kind of like an onion. We're just peeling in and we're just
right.
So I love this, because usually we might flip it and start the other way. I love this because we're just starting with life, because you have so much going on. So I really want to start after you started drumming, that one gap between drumming and then the Trey Songz factor. So I want to know how you started that producing, because you said you were a drummer. Did you, like, I just want to know the process. The people want to know the process. How did that start when you getting into this world? Like, besides being a drummer?
Definitely. I definitely was going to be an artist first.
Okay. Like a rapper or a singer?
Yeah, I was definitely rapping.
Yes. Okay.
You're gonna laugh so hard, but my name, and this is probably what, I'm 40 now, so this is, man, maybe about 25 years ago. That's crazy to even say. My name was A Boogie.
A Boogie, you're lying.
I swear to you,
you're lying.
My name was A Boogie.
You're lying.
I thought it was the most fire name ever, and everybody else was like, "Bro,
wow,
Boogie, like." What? Like, A Boogie? I'm like, bro, A Boogie is fire. And they was like, it's not fire, and then I end up changed it later on because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I was saying, I was pursuing the rap artist thing, kind of got schooled on the business, like, nah, you should be more behind the scenes, you gotta go platinum, you gotta go gold for you to really see money like that. And why don't you, you're already a musician, you're already a drummer, like, why don't you like make beats? Why don't you start producing? And I'm like, So that's kind of how it came together for me, man. And that's how it happened. And then again, just like I fell in love with drums, I fell in love with producing and making beats. I've always loved hip hop. I always gravitated towards it. And I always loved the music. Like, if you would say, yo, recite these lyrics, 9 times out of 10, I can't. Terrible with lyrics, but it was always the music and the melody and the beats for me. So I fell in love with like making beats and production, and decided that I was like, I'm gonna be a musician and a producer. I want to tour the world eventually one day. I want to play Madison Square Garden. I want to, I wasn't sure on the traveling thing. I didn't like planes and stuff like that. So I really wasn't saying that. I just kept saying, I want to play at Madison Square Garden. I know that was like the for New York, and the biggest arena to me in New York City, where you would play and there's like thousands of people watching you play. So,
and there's nothing like it in the world.
You know what I mean? So, and I went from banging on the tables at school in the lunchrooms and really started making beats. And I would bring in my cassette tapes, that transitioned into CDs, and would play it for my friends and for my classmates. And they were like, yo, bro, like, these are really dope. Like, I can hear this person on there, that artist on there. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to keep going. And my first placement was Foxy Brown.
Yes, honey.
Who I am a extreme fan of. I don't think there was
I love it.
I don't think there was any dude that didn't love Foxy Brown. Like, as a kid, I don't think it was any dude that was like, yo, I don't like Foxy. I don't know if that ever existed. So I was definitely one of those kids. So that moment was epic, man. She was working on the Cradle to the Grave movie and soundtrack by DMX.
Classic.
And, we created this record, and the record ended up going on that movie and soundtrack, which is behind me right there in the middle.
Hold on, I need glasses to see all your bright, shiny things back there blinding me. Wow.
Yo, that was my first placement.
Amazing. I need some of those.
You're on the way.
Manifesting. I'm talking to you, honey, so I know it's coming. On the
way. Listen, and wait till you see that video that I sent you. Like,
okay, I can't. I'm watching it as soon as I get off this with you.
It's gonna be the best. I think it's like 6.5 minutes, and I have like my attention span sucks. But yo,
so does mine.
Yo, this joint kept my foot. Like, I was trying to I'll be like, I got enough. I was trying to turn it off, and just couldn't. I was like, yo, like, she's really talking to me. So manifestation and just the just knowing is never too late. And I think that really resonated with me. And that's why I wanted to share with you and E, because so many times we're like, yo, man, damn, I'm about to be 40, man. Ain't this can't happen at 41 or 42 or 40.
Right.
Like, I was supposed to be 30 when that happened. I was supposed to be 25 when I was supposed to be, you know what I mean? And that goes in your mind and your mental. And I'm speaking against that, man. So I can't wait for you to see this video. But yeah, Foxy Brown, first placement. And I was off to running after that. And kind of a mixture between pressure and excitement, because for that to be my first placement, I'm like, okay, gold record, 500,000 sold, song in a movie, name in the credits, like everything is just crazy. And I'm like, how do I follow up with this though? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it has to be, and with all due respect, it has to be bigger than Foxy Brown. I have to to grow. So there was a little nervousness in there, man, but just God just kept opening up the doors, and I kept running through them. You know what I mean? And but just know I put in a lot of work, and I know you know that. But for people that are listening, this wasn't no overnight thing. Like I was making beats for years before I even wanted people to hear it, because I just
2005, baby.
Oh man, like crazy. So yeah, that was that middle space, because I kind of got with Trey a little early, because Jones, I forgot what year that album came out. So I was established already. I had some credits under my belt. I think Foxy Brown, Little Mo, Dipset, G Unit, if I'm not mistaken, was kind of under my belt. And then kind of linked up with Mike Jones. And then a year went past, and then linked up with Trey for, the band thing. So I kind of had a nice, good resume, when I linked up with Trey. And then, of course, it started building even more,
J-Lo, Justin Bieber's, tooting your own horn over there, just to name a few people. I love it. Oh my goodness. The last thing before we get out of here is, you did not tell us how you, honestly, first off, got the name Amadus.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a pretty cool story.
That's one thing we need to know. One thing. Hold on. That's what the people want to know. Okay. So that's the final thing. And then I feel like we could go on for 5 more hours. But I know we probably over an hour right now, because I'm just so literally all up in the story, and so are the people, because these gems that you're dropping and this knowledge.
If I can do a part 2, I'll definitely come back and we can do a part 2.
Yes. We're doing a part 2 because everybody wants to know the secret that you're working on, because I know we're all going to see it eventually come out. But once it does come out in your show that you have coming, we need to come back. Because during quarantine, I literally have watched you during quarantine, and I've seen you doing all these interviews and people. So like, I'm like, oh, is this part of it? Like, what's going on? Like, you've interacted with so many amazing people, and I've literally loved every vibe. Like, my alerts go off. Amadeus talking to somebody. Amadeus live.
That's
I'm always tuning in, but we need to know. How we got that name.
Yo, so when I was a little kid in school, we were forced, and I'm using forced because I would have definitely I wouldn't have chose to watch this movie. We were forced to watch the movie Amadeus. And I wasn't really locked in or tuned in, because I was excited. I was definitely fresh. That word, don't be so fresh. I was definitely one of those fresh little kids. So
got you.
What was exciting for me was in class, they was going to shut the lights out, and I was going to sit next to 2 little girls, and we were going to watch the movie. So that was
how you and Trey Songs get along. You and Mr. Panty Dropper. It started off early. Now I see why you listen for each other.
So let me be clear. When I say little girls, we were the same age. We were woven like first. You gotta be careful. The story I'm telling.
You were a child as well.
I was a child.
When you were a child.
We were in the same class. We were in like 1st or 2nd or 3rd grade, somewhere around there. I was little. I was a baby. You gotta be good. People would be like, So yeah, so that was what I was excited about, and then the movie came on, And then, of course, I got my name called because I was talking to the young ladies and being the gentleman that I was. Watch, pay attention. So I'm paying attention. And I'm watching this dude, and he's out of control. Out of control. The same exact person. Very talented, a master of composer. So he's composing all of these masterpieces. He's a teenager. He's chasing the girls around. And I was like, he's silly. He got a million jokes. I was like, yo, this is me. Like, Amadeus is definitely me, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I watched the rest of the movie, enjoyed the movie. Mind you, I'm a little kid. So the name kind of came together like around 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I didn't even choose the name. You know what I mean? At the time, my partner at the time chose the name. He was like, yo, we gotta get a dope name. I was definitely going with A Boogie. We gotta get a better name for producer, man. Like maybe like Beethoven, maybe like Mozart or like Wolfgang. So Mozart and Wolfgang is Amadeus's other names.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I don't really know. He said, what about Amadeus? And I was just like, I don't know. I'm not really sold. And he's like, yo, it's dope. Your real name starts with A. So Amadeus, and he's a composer. And you could be like, it's like you being like a hip hop artist. And I'm still sitting there like, I'm not really sold, man. But all right, let's give it a try. So he's like, yo, let's just try it for like a week or two. We'll take these label meetings, and play some beats, stuff like that. And then we'll tell them that your name is Amadeus. So we in the meetings and meeting with people and playing beats. This is Amadeus. And everybody I would say that name to would be like, yo, that's a dope name. That's a real dope name. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then finally, Chip was like, yo, this is kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? Like Amadeus. All right, cool. And then it just hit me where it was like, yo, didn't you watch a movie named Amadeus with a classical composer?
Ooh.
He was a little kid, and you was like, yo, y'all were the same exact person, silly, out of control, talented, chased the girls, always got in trouble. Wasn't that? And it just clicked. And in that moment, I was just like, I'm going to keep Amadeus. You know what I mean? And that's how it happened. And then later on, tapping into the spiritual side of things, I learned that Amadeus means loves God. And that was the icing on the cake for me. And
this all makes sense.
Yes. So that's
we are destined. The light is shining, honey. I'm feeling so blessed just talking to you because I know literally how you said you're anointed. I literally feel God places certain people on this earth, not only to motivate, to guide, to lead, to help others. Like you are one of those chosen people, Amadeus. Your name speaks volumes, as you just so said. And I can't even stop smiling now. I know the story behind it. I'm like, you are so truly blessed, bro. Like you are so truly blessed. And I love it. And I am so honored that you gave me your time and your time today to be here to tell us these amazing stories and these blessings. And I literally hope everyone watching and your fans and family, friends, supporters, everybody can take all of these amazing gems that you dropped and apply them to their lives in some shape or form. Everybody has a different path and a different story and a different way. But if you can actually take away from the things that you said and not the actual journey of it, but the things that you said that helped you on your journey, I believe everybody can just level up and go so far in life and vibrate on this amazing high frequency because you follow those and I believe in those and I follow those as well. And that you just given me hope and inspiration to know that I'm on the right path in some shape or form because our paths crossed. And I'm so happy that we got to do this. Like, shout out to E. Edgar for making this happen. I love you. We love you, Edgar.
Yes, E. What up, E? Yo, we put this together for, no lie, for like a few years. Like, I'm not going to lie. And it just shows you how amazing God is and how it's not about our time, but his time. You know what I mean? And this was the right moment. This was the time that was necessary for this to be done. I had to go through what I needed to go through to get to where I'm at today. You had to go through what you needed to go through. Edgar had to go through. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful to be here and have this opportunity to be on this platform with you and, be on the Marian and the Mix show. This is a dope conversation. just as you say and share of how I've inspired you, you inspired me as well. I've learned a lot about you, during this conversation that I didn't know. That's really dope. It's really a blessing that inspires me, and it's not only me, but everybody that's watching and listening to this as well, male and female. So I'm proud of you. Continue to be you. Excited about the year. Excited about us even doing more together to inspire the world and especially the music community. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate this conversation.
No, thank you. Listen, when I start my Good Vibes Foundation that I already have planned, I bought the domain, all of it, it's coming. I'm manifesting it. I would love to be on board with you when I go on tours with you, and you can come with me. And because my program is giving back to the youth and implementing programs. And the funniest thing is, one of my programs is I wanted to do a music class. And I know arts has been taken out of a lot of schools. So I was going to target those schools, and I wanted to go in and bring instruments in one day. Just like how you said. So when you said that, I know, but I'm telling you, the manifestation going on here. I know I'm on the right path, because I'm gonna bring Amadeus in. He gonna do the drums. I'm gonna sit here and play flute and violin, and we gonna inspire these kids to grab an instrument.
Exactly.
And they can be the next Amadeus or DJ Rhea. And it's gonna be amazing. And I literally see all of this happening, and I cannot wait. So I need you on board when my foundation starts and all this good stuff, because I need all of those good vibes and that love that you got going on. So please
count me in. And I'm not just saying it. I mean, this is you tapped in spiritually and us aligning. Dead serious. All jokes aside, this is a new thing that I've actually tapping into right now, and more from the teaching lens, more from actual education and actual going into the schools and teaching music appreciation. Seriously. So, and I actually joined forces with a school that is across the street from where I grew up at. And they brought this to me, and the fact that you're you're co-signing and you know what I mean? And it's crazy how it just comes full circle. So I'm not saying it just to say it, because it sounds good. I'm a man of my word, and this is what I'm passionate about. So when you are up and running, with your foundation, please lock me in for drums, and no one else for drums. That's me right there. That's my spot.
Nobody else has that. This is on camera. Everybody's watching this. We have the footage. We have the ESPN footage right here. We have the replay.
Yes. I'm happy. Thank you so much, man.
No, I'm so happy. This was so awesome. Thank you. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is easy like the layup. Been over time with the grind, I got my weight up. Busting through these lines like cheese, time to pay up. Break the flow sky high. Say what? Say what? What's wrong with all these haters? They lying. And now I'm saying, I try to put my partners on, we always gonna be first.
Yes, I love it. Amadeus. Thank you so much once again, everybody. Tap in. Amadeus, where can the people find you besides right over there in your, talk to us? Where can they find you and tap in?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter as well. Producer Amadeus. Amadeus spelled as it's on the screen. AMADEUS on Twitter. As you see, the IG is there. Amadeus PBM. I'm more on IG more. So I would say if you're trying to reach out, you're trying to connect, definitely DM me. I'm one to check every DM, because I feel like I don't want to pass out or pass up on any opportunities. So I'm not that person that's Hollywood and I'm too good at. No, I'm in there. You know what I mean? I'm in there checking them, because so many people reach out. So many people have ideas, opportunities, and I don't want to miss out on any. So if you got an opportunity, you want to connect with the king, DM me. I'm sure I will respond. So blessings to everybody. Queen Rhea, appreciate you. Edgar, appreciate you, man. Thank you for this conversation. It was epic.
Thank you. You're epic. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Mwah. The people love you, everybody. Once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Maria in the Mix with our epic, amazing guest, Amadeus BPM, baby. BPM.